Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Unscripted and Unchained. My name is DM Bloodworth, and this is episode 16, a channel news and kind of a hodgepodge episode. So, what I'm going to talk about today is I'm going to kind of, wrap up, a recent buying spree that I was, that I had gone on buying, many of the games that I started role playing with, starting with, the first game that I role played with was 1977 or 1978, around there, with Dungeons and Dragons. But the first box set that I had purchased for myself was the 1980, box set of basic Dungeons and Dragons, and so I managed to get a copy of this off of eBay, and it is a phenomenally, great condition, complete box set. Everything in really, really good shape. And so I was happy with this. If you want to see more detail on what's actually here, you could look at my most previous video, which was on opening up this box set. I also picked up along the way, over the last couple of weeks, Gangbusters, another TSR game. Played this back in the early 1980s, and had a lot of fun with it. Joined a community on Facebook that's dedicated to Gangbusters, and they're putting out a lot of new content and such. But I wanted to get a hold of, the game that I played, and now that I have it, I'll be able to look through it and, pick up the PDF someplace along the way, so I can leave this on my shelf and not mess around too much with the books, because the books are in great shape, even though the box isn't, phenomenally well, put together, or, hasn't survived the 38 plus years that the game has been out. But, this is something that I'm looking forward to playing. I might game master this as well, but I'd like to at least, get my feet wet again with this game as a player within that community. So that's another game that I've, recently picked up. If you've been following the, my video series, you'll know that I also picked up Bushido. And once again, books are in great shape. The box a little bit, a little bit rougher for the wear, but still not terrible. I can easily, do an internal repair on that part of it. But the books are in great shape. I have this in PDF, so I don't actually have to abuse this any more than it already is. And I can print out the PDF and still run some games with this, which I am intending to GM Bushido in the next couple of weeks. And so that's another purchase. Really, what started off my recent purchases off of eBay was, all right, this is the 1982 or 83, this is the 1983 box set, and this is now, because I got the original box that I started playing with, so this now is going to become my reading copy of the basic Dungeons and Dragons. Now, this one here is the revised edition by Frank Metzner, and so there will be some changing. I won't actually be running the same rules that the original Dungeons and Dragons box set came with. So there are some modifications in this version of it, and but I will be running Keep on the Borderlands as a very first adventure when I start my campaign. So I'm going to be doing that, and I'm going to stick to running a campaign using D&D basic set, and then later on I'll convert to other editions. I know I have the basic set of the 5e box set, so I'll run something with those as well. And then finally, one of the other games that I played back in the 1980s that I really enjoyed was Pirates and Plunder. This game here is kind of, it's the most numbers crunchy of the games, although Bushido is kind of very close to this. And it wasn't a tremendously popular game back then, but it's one that my friends and we really enjoyed. We kind of became like pirate enthusiasts, partly due to this game, and I'm looking forward to running this game system. It does need a ship-to-ship combat system. It never had it. That's one of the drawbacks of, I don't know why they had a pirate-based game and you didn't have ship-to-ship combat, but it's certainly something with my experience and my other, my players and my player group's experience to actually develop a viable combat system for, ship-to-ship, and we'll definitely be running that. I just today secured a winning bid for Top Secret, another TSR game. That edition was the 1980 edition, so it's the first edition, first box set. That was a game I also played back in the, obviously the early 80s, and a game that we had quite a bit of enjoyment with. I'm going to work on getting the original Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I know I have the Pathfinder version that was in a Kickstarter about a year or so ago. I'm expecting that in the mail anytime soon. And so once I start getting some of these games all together and I have what I consider to be my, the real beginnings of my role-playing, then it'll be by the summertime, it'll be full bore right into, GMing many different things. I'm finding that as an RPG gamer, I am finding myself more and more in the role of a game master than an actual player. I have had very few opportunities to play as a player in games. So, and I don't mind it so much. I'm actually getting more and more comfortable with being a GM, and especially with various versions or various different games that I've been playing. So going forward, as far as the channel, so some things about the channel, you'll notice as you start looking over my over my videos, you'll see that I have many different interests, and I've created several other, platforms that I'm looking to tie into this channel, so, Unscripted and Unchained is my YouTube channel. It has its own logo that you see up on the top over here. And when I do these episodes of Unscripted and Unchained, that's the logo that you'll see as the front page of the video. So you'll start to see that I'm organizing my videos with a thumbnail picture so that you can start to see what am I exactly doing in there before you actually click in and jump in. So anything with with this little logo that I've had for a while will be an episode like this. So episode 16, and then the next one will be episode 17, and usually news, channel news and such. When I do unboxings, it will have the logo, the thumbnail of the game that I am unboxing. And unboxing for me is just taking it out of its mailing package, and showing you that process, and then opening up the box and going through the materials and kind of showing you the binding and the contents of it, and describing the game a little bit. If I'm somewhat familiar with the game, I'll be describing it. Sometimes I'm opening up a box that I have no real, knowledge of it, and so there it goes with the unscripted part is that I'm discovering it at the same time that you're seeing my true reaction to opening up those boxes. And let's see, when I do gameplay and I upload a gameplay session, it will usually have an image that I believe ties into the adventure that the that the players are going through. So, whether it be Mifrog and, I've done a few video games and broadcast my video game play. So you've seen that with Conan Exiles or The Age of Conan. You'll see that with some of my other older videos when I was playing Albion Online. So when I do online games, I'll put the logo of the game that I'm playing on the thumbnail as well. So you should start seeing that change, and that format implemented more frequently on my channel. Moving forward, I'd like to get some of you to respond on on this video or any other videos, and just give me some suggestions of what types of videos you would like to see, what games I should look into. I mean, even though I do buy a lot of games, obviously my budget is not unlimited, but not having too many vices allows me to to probably spend a little bit more than than I should, and I like to pick up new games fairly often. So if there's a really good game out there, an RPG that you think that I should give a look at, if there's a Kickstarter that you think I should take a look at, feel free to advertise your Kickstarters on my on any of these episode videos, and I'll take a look at them. I know I have a couple Kickstarters that I've purchased that I'm expecting to come in. So when those come in, I'll do those as an unboxing video as well. So if there's any suggestions that you have that you want to leave in the comments section, you'll appreciate it. I'll try to accommodate as best I can any of your interests, and that will be inserted into an upcoming video. If you suggest to me a game, I can almost guarantee you if I do purchase the game and you will see an unboxing of it, I'll thank you for the suggestion, especially if it's a great game, and I won't rag on you too hard if it's not a great game, but because I do like experiencing games anyway, and I kind of read them like people read fantasy novels or science fiction novels. I read game systems, as a form of entertainment and learning to learn more and more about different systems. So I know a lot of videos this weekend, so I appreciate the fact that you're popping in and taking a look at the additional videos for the weekend. I tend to do a video at least once a week or once every 2 weeks, and that will ebb and flow. Sometimes there'll be more, sometimes there'll be fewer. I shouldn't go more than 2 weeks without putting up anything. So once again, happy weekend, happy gaming out there, and I hope to see you around on on my channels. I hope to see you on my on my feed for the Facebook channel On Screen Gaming, and hopefully we'll run into each other on Google Hangouts and play some games together. All right, have a good weekend.